by Professor Thomas Weber. Thank you very much for coming tonight. There are some people still in the traffic, but I think we start the introduction. As you all know, we traditionally do a very German introduction to the speakers, and by then everybody will have arrived. Before I introduce Thomas to you, let me first of all make some announcements, as we usually do, for some other interesting events going on in the next couple of weeks. In 2 weeks' time, Monday 28th, there will be a lecture at the British Institute on the Madich project, the Mapping the Digital Cultural Heritage in Jordan project. 6 o'clock up at CBRL. And also 2 weeks' time on Wednesday, the 30th of October, there will be a lecture by James Fraser on the archaeology of olive oil at ACO. So also please make sure you attend the events. Also, I would like to make you aware that we have a filming PR person with us, Hamza Aizum. He is actually shooting, or he shot a film on the Jaros project, and this will also be included. He's only going to screen actually the lecture, so you don't have to worry. I would like to also welcome particularly the German embassy. Thank you, Thomas Scheid and colleagues, for joining today and actually getting an overview about the work of Thomas.
It's a pleasure and honor. Thank you.
Even though I know most of you in that room know Thomas Weber very, very well, since he has been here for decades, I would like to introduce him to you. It's a German tradition to do that, and I think it's also worthwhile because it's interesting to actually get the background of a person who is doing all this academic work. Thomas Weber studied classical archaeology, Byzantine philology and arts, as well as ancient history at the universities of Mainz and Bonn in Germany, and also in Oxford, the UK. He received his PhD from the University of Mainz in 1982 with a thesis on bronze jugs from Greece and Etruria. And right after his PhD, he actually awarded one of the so-called traveling grants of the German Archaeological Institute. It's a fabulous grant where academics, young academics, are able to travel for 1 year to look at archaeological sites. So Professor Weber joined that. After that, he came to Damascus. He was there as a assistant or scientific assistant at the Damascus branch of the German Archaeological Institute. From this time, a monograph originates which deals with sarcophagus mountings. The German title is Syrisch-Römische Sarkophagbeschläge, which he published in 1989. After Damascus, Professor Weber came then in 1985 to Jordan, and he came here as the director of this very institute, the German Protestant Institute of Archaeology. He directed the institute until 1990, and during this period he was very much involved in archaeological research in Jadara. He excavated big projects in Jadara, and did also already in that period a lot of conservation work on the Ottoman village in Montreuil, in close cooperation with the German embassy, especially restoring Beit Maccabi, which is still nowadays actually our excavation house and storage, as well as Beit Rosan. After his time in Jordan, Professor Weber returned to Germany, to the University of Mainz, where he taught and finally received his habilitation in 1996. And apart from Mainz, he already taught in many different places, among the Paris University Arts and École Normale Supérieure. 2010 to 16, he came back to Jordan, to the University of Jordan as a guest professor of the German Academic Research Service, Exchange Service, and from 2016 until very now, he is professor at the German Jordanian University. I would like to mention here that Professor Weber really published intensively, of course, both in monographs as well as journals. But what he really, or what really stands out, that he publishes all his projects, excavation and any other practical project immediately and very promptly. As we all know, this is very often very difficult, and so he is doing very well on this. From his time in Jordan, I would like to mention a couple of monographs. Case Gadara, the Decapolis, that was a brief guide in the 1980s. Pella Decapolitana, 1993, is a very famous monograph for us archaeologists, as well as Gadara Decapolitana, 2002. He also published a monograph together with Robert Benning on Petra, also in German, and among the objects he worked on from Syria, his monograph on sculptures from Roman Syria in the National Museum at Damascus is of course to mention. Professor Weber directed a number of excavations in Greece, Syria, Yemen, Libya, and of course in Jordan. To give a quick summary on that, referring to Jordan, he worked in Jadara, as mentioned before. He worked in Jerash on the bronze workshop, published immediately the metal casting in Roman Geraza. 2012 to 16, he worked on a project Al-Halabat, Al-Jamal, the edict of the Emperor Anastasio, also published quite recently. And then from 2015 to 16, he worked on the Nabatean temple at Hirbel el-Yajuz, a cooperation together with the Jordan University and Professor Lutfi Khalil. The very last excavation is interesting for us, since he is going to give us more insights in that. This was the project carried out in 2016 and 17, excavations at the Northern Hall at the Eastern Bath in Jerash. Again, Thomas, thank you very much that you accepted the invitation, that you came here tonight. The floor is yours with no further ado.